We are beginning with a pre-planned single implant case to demonstrate how to design a 3D printed GRS surgical guide. The implant position and orientation has been pre-established. However, if complete instruction is needed in planning a surgical case, please visit grsguidesystem.com and click on videos for a detailed step-by-step instruction outlining how to plan a surgical implant case using Blue Sky Plan. Currently, we are viewing the case in advanced mode and using the tangential 3 perspective. This perspective seems to provide all of the relevant data, but another view can be selected if so desired. Blue Sky Plan makes designing a surgical guide very simple. So we begin by turning off the visibility of all surfaces other than the imported STL soft tissue model. We then maximize the 3D window in order to view the STL model. At this point, go to the Implant List tab. Then go to the top of the list and under Drill Kit, select the type of GRS guide ring kit being used. In this case, it is the regular body GRS ring kit. You can also go down to the Software Guide Tube section and change the printing dimensions, guide hole diameter and height. That may be required to compensate for the printing characteristics of your specific 3D printer. Then, under the Implant section, toggle on the guide tube visibility, which will then display the internal dimensions of the hole to be printed, and if any interferences appear with adjacent teeth or the patient's tissue, then the implant can be manually adjusted, along with adjusting the offset feature, which will raise or lower the guide tube if there is a need to change the position of the guide tube vertically. Now, if everything looks good and is positioned correctly, we can now simply design the surgical guide. Click the Guide Panel tab. Confirm the 3D model is the correct model to design the guide. I usually only keep on the automatic brush, and I increase the brush diameter to 20 millimeters to provide additional access. Select the type of guide quality. In this case, we selected very high, and then come down to the surgical guide section and click on Draw Curve. Just pick a location to begin the design. Hold down the Shift key and left click to place the individual nodes. Once the guide looks good, make sure to close the design by positioning the last node with the first node placed. This will be confirmed when all of the nodes appear the same color. You can now go back and adjust the design to fit your preferences. Remember that Blue Sky Plan will automatically remove any undercuts. However, a design that avoids undercuts is best, but usually some post-internal trimming may be required to allow the guide to fit on the original model. If you actually need to start over, just click on Clear Curve under the Surgical Guide section and begin again. However, once it looks good, go down and click Create Surgical Guide. The process time will vary based on your computer and the complexity of the guide. Now that it's complete, under Implant List, toggle off Guide Tube Visibility. Then click the Surfaces tab and turn off the visibility of the STL model used to design the guide. You can now view the guide to confirm the final design. If changes are needed, click the red X next to the surgical guide, which will delete the guide and then return to the Guide Panel tab. Click on Draw Curve, which will allow you to make changes to your original design. However, you can simply just start over by clicking Clear Curve if a completely new design is needed. You can also create additional surgical access by creating a window in the guide. Under the Guide tab, confirm that the newly designed surgical guide is active. Then go down to the surgical guide and right-click the mouse button and select Add Window. A block will appear with an adjustment gimbal comprised of 3 separate rings along with vector arrows to adjust direction, position, and size. You can also adjust the transparency of the block to view the underlying surgical guide and supporting teeth. The window feature is a very useful tool in removing only the selected area or areas of a guide in order to provide for optimal surgical access while still maintaining a stable, secure fit. If this additional access is needed, simply click Create Guide and the new guide will be created. However, if it is not needed, just simply right-click again and select Remove, and the original surgical guide design will return. So now, if everything appears correct, click Save Surgical Guide and save it to a designated folder. You're now ready to print your new GRS surgical guide. So, thanks for watching. We hope this tutorial helps, and if any additional information is needed, please visit us at grsguidesystem.com.